Good evening. This is David Lynn, sometimes known as the Prepper Principal. It is Thursday, right at 7 p.m., and this is Coffee Talk. Please leave a like to support the channel, it will be greatly appreciated. Well, we'll wait to see some more people get into the chat. I am drinking coffee with Whitener. Susanna Morrison, proud single mother. Welcome, and thank you for the like. Coffee good to the last drop. Hello, Black Widow. Well, it's Thursday evening, tomorrow's Friday, TGIF. I was asking for Friday, Monday afternoon. Not feeling the best today, but I went to work. A lot of absences. They borrowed one of my paraprofessionals because they were short-handed, so I only had one para today. Then when I left for a department meeting, they had to send a sub over so that my para was not by herself. Always try to keep two people in the room with the type of kids that I have. KP Heathen, greetings from Louisiana. Thank you for coming and thank you for the likes. Melinda Elliott, welcome. And Uncle Al, Bullfrog 79. Utah Mike. So, I think I want to talk to y'all for a couple of minutes about meals ready to eat rations, and give you a little information about buying them. It's really hard normally to get cases, case quantity. A case is 12 MREs. It's real hard to get case quantity of MREs that are within the inspection date. So when I refer to the inspection date, they produce an MRE and there's a 3-year inspection date on it, which means the military anticipates using its MREs with its troops within 3 years. If they're over 3 years old, they don't give them out. What they will do is they will sell them to a wholesaler or to a supplier or to Amazon or one of these survival outlets. There are several dozen of them probably around the nation, and they'll sell them case quantity. And then sometimes what they do is they open up the cases and they'll sell individual rations, or they'll resell the case. And like with Amazon, if you look at it, it'll say inspection date. Like if you're lucky, you can get some inspection dates 2024, which means that they're basically 3 years old. You look at the pricing on them, what they're charging. Jocelyn's vlog. Hello, Jocelyn. Thank you for coming. Good morning to you. Thank you for the like. So when you go, and I was looking at them today. Didn't have anything better to do. I said, "Oh, I think I'll see what they have." So I was looking at Amazon, and they have different companies that they get their stuff from, and they oftentimes are the middleman for a company. So they list it, and you're actually gonna when you receive your your case, if you ordered a case, you'll receive it from another company. It won't be in an Amazon pack. It'll just be a case, and it'll have the mailing information on it, and it comes from XYZ supplier. But the thing is, you want to look at what year does it say as the inspection. They've got some right now that say 2021. So they weren't packaged in 2021. The inspection date is 2021. Those were actually some 2018. Those MREs are already 6 years old, and they'll sell them for a little bit less than they would the ones that are 3 years old. But they're twice as old. So the idea of, oh well, it's the 6-year-old MRE, that's horrible. It depends on how they're stored. If you're storing them out of direct sunlight, in a climate controlled, where it's in the 70s, they're not getting super hot, your shelf life on them is 15, 20 years. They'll last a long time. Now, one of the reasons that the military will limit the age is because, like, they're sending them to desert areas. So they'll have a big shipment come in, and they just pile them out on a piece of concrete, and they're sitting out in the open. Maybe it's a dry area where you don't have to worry about rain, desert or whatever. But they're out in the heat, and it's 110, 120 degrees during the day. That really shortens the life on them. It really shortens the life on them. And if you're in a situation where that's what you're getting, somebody buys them, and then they're selling them, and that's the way that was the situation that they had, then they're not going to last near as long. And certain components within them will go bad. Certain things will be good forever, but certain things will go bad, depending on if they're stored in the heat or whatever. MREs do not like the heat. They don't like direct sunlight. Joseph Moore, welcome. So everything's going up. And the idea is like, okay, well, I buy a case of MREs, and you're going to pay $135, $140 for a case. Now, for a true, one of the big three brands, Sapaco, Ameriqual, or Warnick Company, the big three that make MREs for the military, you're going to pay 135, 140, $150 depending on how old they are, circumstances. And the good thing about getting them through Amazon is you're not paying for shipping, so you don't have to pay for you're not having to pay to have them shipped to you. But you get individual ones, like you say, I want to buy a 4-pack. You buy a 4-pack, they're going to want $60, $65 for a set of 4 random MREs. You don't know how old they are, but they are U.S. MREs. But you don't necessarily know what you're getting. You don't know what menu you're getting. There are good menus, there are bad menus. There are 24 menus at any one time. There's a case A, and it'll have menus 1 through 12, and there's a case B, and it'll have menus 13 through 24. And then they have they have what they call halal, which would be for somebody of the Muslim faith. They have kosher, which would be somebody of the Jewish faith, where they have specialty cases. For whatever reason, you don't really want to get those cases and have them be 4 or 5 years old, because a lot of the components within them don't last, and they'll be stale. A lot of the sides, the things that they put in them, for whatever reason, those do not last that long. Now, if you get one fresh, they're better to eat. They're better eating than the normal one they put out for the troops. The components they put in them, the stuff that the side they put more stuff in, they put more sides and stuff in them. They they're better. But when you get them and they're only a couple of years old, and you're going to pay more for a case of, you're dealing with those special. Same thing with cold weather. You get U.S. cold weather. They have a case of 12 cold weather, and you're going to pay $175, $180 for a case of 12 cold weather. Now, the thing about the cold weather, they got lots of good stuff in them, but their main is going to be a Mountain House freeze dried. So the main will last you 30 years. I mean, you have a 20-year-old case of those. The mains, if nothing else is good, the main item in them, the main course of the meal, will be freeze dried, so it will be fine. It will be fine. And you pay more for them. You're going to pay more for those. And sometimes you'll get sellers that'll acquire some fresh stuff, where they got some that were made last year, and you'll pay sometimes you'll pay $30 for just one MRE, but they're good and fresh. So they got a hold of some cases, and they broke the cases up, to sell them individually, because they make more money that way. So that's something I was looking at today, and that I advise you that if you're going to buy something like that, look at the date on it, and remember, whatever date they have on it is 3 years older than that. So when they say the inspection date is say 21, it's already 6 years old. Right now, a lot of the ones you'll get, the inspection dates are 23, or some of them are 24. You're going to pay more. The more recent the inspection date, the more you're going to pay for it. So you get one, the inspection date's 23, that's already a 4-year-old MRE. Those MREs are already 4 years old. I bought a bunch of Moors, and the ones I got my hands on were packaged in 23. So the components and like the stuff I've been sending out to people, that stuff is 1 year old. So at the very least, they're good for 2 more years. But they've been stored. They've been stored properly. You know, those components will be good 5, 7, 8, 10 years from now. You know, and you can get cases of Moors. I've bought cases of Moors in the past, and I'm sending out some stuff. They have went up on the humanitarian daily rations. They were selling the humanitarian daily rations for $30 for a case. Now they're going just over $40 for a case. So if you get a case of humanitarian daily rations, chances are they're going to be 3, 4 years old, and there's nothing wrong with that if they've been stored properly. They'll be 3, 4 years old, and now you're paying $10 more since the hurricanes hit the East Coast. They've went up on them. They've went up on everything. You know, and then they're running out of certain things. Like I had bought a 50-pack of crackers for $46. MRE crackers, the shelf-stable, long-lasting crackers. They'll be good 20 years from now. And I've got like 3 cases of those. Well, I was going to buy some more, and they're out of them again. They'll get them in, and then they'll be out of them. Enrique Trevino, hello, Enrique Trevino. Thank you for coming. Oh, right now, Enrique, I'm talking about MREs and talking about dates, what to look for when you buy stuff like that. You buy a case of MREs, the case is going to have an inspection date on it. It'll have like an inspection date that says like 2024 or 2023. And you have to understand that when you're getting something that the inspection date is 2024, it's already 3 years old. If it's 2023, it's already 4 years old. And I saw some MREs that they were selling for about $120 a case, and their inspection date was 21, which means that they were packaged in 18, which means they're already 6 years old. These are MREs that are already 6 years old. They were packaged 6 years ago, and there would be nothing wrong with that, provided how they were stored. And see, that's the crapshoot. You don't know how they were stored. You don't know if they were stored in the heat, where they were stored at, you know. But like my friend Dave said, they got 4 cases. They were given 4 cases of MREs, and they have a date on them of 25. So they were packaged a couple years ago, and they're still within the inspection date. The inspection date's 25. So even if they weren't stored that well, that even, you know, if they were spent a lot of time in the heat, they're still supposed to be shelf stable for 3 years. So they would still be decent, you know, right now, depending on the conditions they were stored in. But they were giving out regular MREs. Now, like the humanitarian daily rations, they get them, you know. Sapaco does them. Warnick does, I mean, they all 3 do it. Miracle does them, and they're designed for the generic run-of-the-mill. Don't offend anybody. There's no meat items in them, so you don't have to worry about, you know, the Jewish people, the Hindu people, the Muslims or whatever. You don't have to worry about there's something in them that's going to offend them. It's all generic type components, and then there are no beverages in them. They don't come with ration heaters, which, you know, these so-called Flemish ration heaters. for whatever reason, they don't last that they don't last that well. That's one thing that when you get MREs, the Flemish ration here, oftentimes they don't work. The element, once they get a certain age, or I don't know, but for whatever reason they don't work. So a trick of the trade when you're dealing with a Flemish ration heater is you can put a salt packet in the Flemish ration heater. When you put the water in, it makes the water salty, and it's more likely to activate your magnesium strips, those pouches, to make them heat. But I don't count on them, and I usually don't use them. Usually, I just automatically boil and I save them. So I've got a ton of flameless ration heaters, but they're pretty good the first year or two. You know, within a couple of years, if they're within a couple of years of when the ration was manufactured, they work pretty good. But when they're a little bit older, they don't last, and they don't tend to work. And you'll hear everybody complain about them. Everybody will complain about them. Mr. Whistle, hello, Mr. Whistle. Thank you for coming. Mom of 4 boys and little lone prepper. So I will mention the fact that I am getting close to 1800. I'm at 1792 when I started here. It could happen overnight. It could happen a week from now. But I anticipate in the near future I'll be at my 1800. So if you have not looked at my last 5 videos, and I've been telling people this, it's in the description of all my videos, and I do put stuff in my descriptions of my videos. Please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit 1800. And I was looking at one of my videos, and I don't know that I'll be releasing any more between now and, so pretty much the 5 are out. One of them has 11 comments. So at that point, if that's all that I hit on when I get to that point, the best you can do is 1 of 11. So you got a pretty good shot. Pretty good shot at it. But please leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released, and I think I pretty much released what I'm going to release for right now. Until I hit the 1800, after the 1800. And then the next video I release will probably be the 1800 subscriber giveaway video. And I'll make a video of that. And maybe it'll be this weekend, or maybe it'll be next weekend, or I don't know. But I'll do a video of me loading up the box and everything, and congratulating whoever won, and showing how I drew the name out of the hat type thing. I mean, people play the lottery, people do this, people do that, people spend a lot of money on BS, and this is a freebie, and you got pretty good odds, a lot better than the lottery type stuff, or scratch offs or whatever. Now another thing I will mention. You get these rations and such, and a lot of them, like the low sodiums. You get these Sapaco low sodiums, and you get like a case of 14 or a case of 16, and they don't have beverages in them. So you want to have like whatever you like. Like rations normally will have, like, they'll have one of these, a flavor of one of those, They'll have a coffee. There'll be a coffee stick. There will be a whitener, like a Coffee Mate, or different brands of whiteners, different brands of coffee sticks. I order, like, this was a pack of 100 coffees and 100 whiteners. I'm working my way through it. The date on this one, best by 4/18 of 24. Taster's Choice in coffee, the cup coffee scoop. So I'm working my way through this one. This one's, but like I said, these will be good 10 years from now. But they put dates on them. So when you wind up, you say, well, I got these and they don't have any beverages. Well, put your own together. Use small little sandwich baggies. You can put a couple of them in there. Put a grape, put a lemonade, put whatever, fruit punch, whatever you want. Put a coffee stick, put a whitener, put sugar in it, or an artificial sugars, whatever you want to use. Splenda. You can basically put your own together. And you can add if you got flame refreshing heaters, you can add your flame refreshing heaters. And you gotta, shop around. If you're gonna buy stuff, shop it. Like these came with, I got a bunch of these, but there's 5 that I just pulled out. And those were going for $1 a piece. And now in some places they're going for $2.50 a piece. I would not pay no $2.50 for a flameless ration heater. Hell would freeze over before I'd pay anything like that. I wouldn't pay $1 for them. I wouldn't. I normally boil my mains and yeah. But then the other thing I will tell you, so there is a disaster. Something happens. Storm, whatever. We're in hurricane season till the end of the month. Something comes through and knocks the power out. No power, no running water, whatever. 3 or 4 days later, a week later, and they're working on trying to restore stuff, and FEMA comes in, the government comes in, and they start giving out rations, humanitarian rations, MREs, whatever they start giving out. What are you going to eat before they get there? What are you going to drink before they get there and they start giving out cases of water? Are you prepared? FEMA will tell you should have a week's worth of food and a week's worth of bottled water. You better have your medication. I say this over and over repeatedly. I'm not looking to insult anybody, but Uncle Al would basically say it's like sometimes you're talking to a dull child. Not too bright. Or one of Uncle Al's cousin Dumas. Yep. And I've run into people like that. So you need to have an inventory of what you have available. Just have a notepad, or have one of these notebooks. Like I use them all the time. They're like $1. And figure out what you got. Figure out what you need. Do the math. How many servings? How many people? How long? So if you basically adhere to what FEMA says, they will be there to give you a hug and a kiss and a fix the boo-boo in about a week. But you're on your own for that first week. I don't know, maybe the church has got a soup kitchen. Maybe there's a homeless shelter where they're feeding people. Is that what you're reduced to? And I'm not taking anything away from the homeless people. I mean, God bless them. Scriptures say the poor will always be with you. That's scriptural. The poor will always be with you. And we are obligated to help, help people. It's, call it a ministry or whatever, but, help people. Buying space. Hello. WD Glock and Roll. Hello. Long time no see. I have been off and on out of pocket due to my wife's medical condition. Between work and, my wife's health, been rough last couple of months. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. 9 in the house, 13 likes. Yes, I was at the point where I was having 250, 300, 350 views when I do a live stream. Now I'm back to about 50. It is what it is, It is what it is. I will wind up with about 8 or 10 watch hours after this one. And then, the replays and such, some people will replay the whole thing. And, I get my 10 plus watch hours out of it. Right now, I'm averaging about 350. Right now, I'm at about 350. I'm way down from where I was. I was at over 600 watch hours in a cycle. And, it is what it is. It's priorities. You got to take care of your business, take care of your family. They come first. This is a hobby with me. Yes, that is true. Don't ever think it can't happen to you. Another thing, and I guess I could talk about, they said don't show a gun on a live stream or whatever, which I wouldn't, and I really don't show guns. So once in a great while I'll show a pistol or some such. But in videos. But do you have a means to defend yourself? That's another thing we talk about. Do you have a means to defend yourself? What is your plan for SHTF if there is a breakdown in law enforcement? Whether it be a temporary breakdown or whether something happens and all of a sudden all of the loonies come out, or there's a riot. If you live in a blue area where they don't suppress anything and the law enforcement doesn't do anything, they just let the place burn, let it loot. What are you going to do to defend your property? Are you going to be able to defend your property? Do you think about stuff like that? What's your plan? I tell people all the time, um, the number one thing you want is a good 20 gauge pump shotgun. And you can get an off-brand pump shotgun, 20 gauge pump shotgun that'll hold 4 or 5 in the tube. Maybe 4 in the tube and 1 in the chamber for $200. Shop around, you can get one for less. My go-to on that would be Walmart. Go look at Walmart. They sell a lot of their prices are better than anybody else if you can find them. So, and they don't sell pistols. You can't get pistols. And you're not going to get ARs or anything like that. They don't sell, hunting rifles, shotguns, 22s. It's what they sell. So I would say go buy yourself a 20 gauge pump shotgun. Traditional shotgun. Not one of these little hand things where, doesn't have you want to be able to put it up against your shoulder. And you can put a sleeve on the stock that'll hold 5 or 6 extra rounds, and you put 5 extra rounds in it. And I like triple up buck, but if you don't want to use buckshot, you can use number 4 shot, number 5 shot. I'd use something larger shot. Good home defense. It's going to make a mess. It's going to be very loud. It's going to make a mess. Get a sling for it, so in case you have to put it over your shoulder. My second weapon after the shotgun would be a .357 revolver, 3-inch barrel, 4-inch barrel, 6 shot. I like plus P ammunition, hollow point, speed loaders, but you don't need any of that. It's just, if you can't take care of your problem with 6 shots, you're in a bad way. I'll tell you what, you're in a bad way. But the shotgun will take care of it, And then your backup would be the revolver. Or you can put in your purse, or, you can put it in your pants, whatever, have a holster. Texas is an open carry or concealed carry. It's a carry state. It's a stand your ground state. You can do what you need to do. 7 in the house. 14 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. So I have been having some difficulty the last couple of days with my shorts. For whatever reason, the algorithm's being unkind to me, and I've put out several shorts, and none of them have over, I think one of them's got like 200 views. One of them's got like about 100 views. I got a couple. I took one down and put it private, had 10 views. I was embarrassed. The pizza one. 10 views. I took it private. I don't know what's going on. I was embarrassed about it. And I just released another one. Here, before I started the live stream, I released another one. But please give my shorts some love if you would. Please leave a like on them. If you want to leave a comment, I appreciate it. I have done a few community wall posts lately. Normally when I do a community wall post, and I have not been shouting out anybody or anything, but I have done some posts where I have linked items that I own, that I buy, that are good deals. Nobody's paying me anything. I don't get any commission on anything. I'm not paid to represent anybody on anything. This is just my personal, what I buy, what I use, my recommendations, just trying to be kindly, take it for what it's worth. My recommendations don't cost you anything, so, Um, and when I give you a price, it's what the current price was. I don't know about a week from now, or 2 weeks from now, or a month from now. Don't get mad at me if you go a month from now and it's no longer on sale. I put stuff up when I see a good deal on a current price. So, you know, it is what it is. And I say, what I say. Yes, Uncle Al, most homes, yes, uh, with 20 gauge, you're probably going to get triple up buck. 12 gauge, you're going to get double up buck. And you can buy that at Walmart. You can buy 5 packs of buckshot, 5 packs. You can also buy 10 packs, 15 packs. Rifle ammunition, shotgun ammunition, and 22 ammunition or 22 Magnum ammunition. You get a good deal, like 17 HMR. You get a good deal at Walmart. That's where to go for prices. It's a good deal. You're going to get your best deals there. Everything's going up. I'm not up on the current price. I haven't bought ammunition in a while. I mean, I've got enough to start World War III. I haven't bought any in the last year and a half or so. But if you buy a gun, you need ammunition. So like say you buy a revolver, 6-shot revolver, and you're going to practice a little bit. Normally you get a box, it's 50 rounds. 50 rounds. Now you can get some of this high-end, like a 20-round box or a 20-round box, 25-round box, or you get these little, where you get you can buy little packs of it's got 5 or 6 rounds in it. And you pay an arm and a leg for them. Specialty stuff. For target practice, ball ammunition. Wad cutters or ball ammunition for target practice. For carry, plus P hollow points. That's I have 357 Magnum and I got 38 Special, but my carry and for my speed loaders, 38 plus P. It's that sweet spot in between. Hollow point. Jacketed hollow point. 158 grain. Hits hard. Will hit hard. And as far as a shotgun is concerned, you don't have to be real accurate with the shotgun. You point it in the general direction, fire, and it'll put out a pattern. And you'll hit what you generally aiming to get it in a certain direction, and it'll go. Revolver, you gotta be a lot more accurate. A lot more accurate. If you want to plink, I encourage you to get a 22 long rifle. You can get a pistol, revolver, or semi-automatic. My favorite is a Ruger 1022. It is the most popular 22 long rifle in the United States. The Ruger 1022. It takes a magazine. You can get magazines that'll hold 100 rounds. You get one of those ball things, with the box, and you can get those. I have a bunch of 10 round, 10 rounds. It's target practice. Plinking is the cheapest way to plink. 22 Magnum, a lot higher velocity. 17 HMR, a lot higher velocity. But you're talking maximum range when you're talking about a 22 or 17 HMR or 22 Magnum. You're talking maybe 200 yards. That's like 2 football fields. But you're not talking about a half mile down the road. I've seen reviews where people, you know, went after a target that was like 500 yards away, and then the way you have to basically, windage and elevation, you're elevating way up because that bullet is not going to go straight. It's going to like go at an arc. If you shoot straight at it, it drops. It's going to be dropping down. Um, but I guess that would be enough talking about guns. You can go to a pawn shop, go to you go to a gun show, you get your best deals there. You'll get good deals if you want to buy a used one. Look in the ad sack, the penny saver, the newspaper, maybe on the church. You get a big church and you look, somebody post some stuff on their board. They want to get rid of stuff. That's how I got a lot of reloading supplies, RCBS reloading. An older guy who was getting ready to turn 80 wanted to get rid of his stuff, and I bought a bunch of stuff from him, real good price. Reloading. And I got all that reloading stuff, and I haven't reloaded in been 10 years since I've done any reloading probably. But I could. I've got components and everything. And then you also have to think about, well, there's shortages and stuff. Sometimes it's primers. Sometimes it's powder. But you got to have primers. You can reuse your brass 8 or 10 times. Sometimes you have to resize it, you clean it. Got a tumbler, you clean it. And got to have primers, got to have powder, got to have bullets. And you can get cases of like lead, like if you're just target practicing, you can get cases of round nose, lead round nose, and you're basically just target practicing. Or get wad cutters or whatever. So I think I beat the weapon situation to death. And I've talked about MREs, rations, field rations. When you start looking at stuff that you need to have a good heater. The gas, maybe you have gas, maybe you don't have gas. But you got to have a means to heat water. Maybe you got a propane stove and a couple of tanks, 20-pound tanks. I have a real nice propane stove, and I have 3 20-pound tanks that I keep. One of them goes out, fill it. And if basically what I'm using it for is just for my propane stove, my little propane stove grill, I've got a lot, run it a long time. Can run a long time. But likewise, if you don't have that, I oftentimes tell people to get like a little folding stove, those little cheap ones, $11, $12. I give those out to people. And have yourself sterno. You use sterno or canned heat. This is a 2-pack. And like the stove, it's a little, $11. Sometimes you get them on sale. You want that so you can boil water, heat water to make coffee or tea, or reconstitute. You need boiling water for freeze-dried food to reconstitute it. You got to think about stuff like that. Having what you need. There is a storm went through Cuba. It was a number 3, 115, 20 mile an hour winds when it went through. Weakened out over the Gulf now. The waters in the Gulf are not as warm. Further you go north, colder the water is. That's going to motivate. It's going to weaken the storm. And it may wind up going into Mexico. May die hitting Mexico. Don't wish that on anybody, but better them than us. Truthfully, better them than us. So, tomorrow is Friday. Weekend coming up. I will try to do a live stream tomorrow at 7. I'm embarrassed to say I hadn't got Uncle Al's box out yet. I've got his box, and it's all addressed and everything, but I haven't got it out. I need to get it out, and I need to make sure that tomorrow it goes out. Put it there. Been sitting right down here, and and I woke up this morning. I did not feel worth anything. I felt like death warmed over. But I don't miss work if I'm breathing. I've never, I started last year. I didn't miss one day last year. The average attendance for staff was 83%. Student attendance was 86%. And the state doesn't like it if you're below 90% average attendance. If you're at 90% attendance, that means 1 out of every 10 days you're absent. So 1 day out of every 2 weeks you're absent. So in a month, you would average 2 absences a month. You got a school year with 9 months in it. 2 absences a month, that's 18 absences. There are people who they lose pay because, they're absent. I hear wax and cardboard in a tuna can will work. Yeah, people put all sorts of rigs together. They do it to play. Sometimes it's done out of necessity. This is Safe Heat, a 12-pack. It would burn for 6 hours. Each of these would burn for 6 hours. You light them, boil your water, put them out, relight them. If it takes 15 minutes to boil water, you get 24 boils out of 1. I've got tons of this stuff. I don't have to play with any of this trying to make my own. And I keep buying more, and they'll last forever. You don't use them, they last forever. But I mean, like this one here, I periodically use it. Still in the same can. I use it when I want to do an example or I want to do a, I'll show how to do it, you know, that kind of thing. Yes, old scout tricks. I'm an old scout. But you know, I didn't get, I had issues. My father passed away when I was 14 and I stopped, you know, I didn't finish. Uncle Al and I have talked about it in the past. And I was a Weeblo scout. I wasn't in the Cub Scouts. I was in the Weeblos and I was in the Boy Scouts. Back 50 years ago. Yeah, 50 years ago. Been a long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away. I think that's that Star Wars thing. Yes. So, make an inventory. Make a list of what you need. Shop it. You can go to estate sales, garage sales, church sales, flea market. Look in the ad sack, the penny saver, the newspaper, church bulletin. Goodwill, Salvation Army. Lots of places you can go looking for stuff for preparedness. And start acquiring bottled water. You can have gallon jugs. Do not use a milk jug for your water. For whatever reason, you don't want to use it after you drink your milk, recycle the jug. But water jugs, yes. You get a gallon of water for like $1.15, you can refill it. Start acquiring a supply of them. Have plenty of water. The water turns off, you can't live without liquid, without water. And same thing with food. Oatmeal, crackers, ramen, soup, completes, dingy Moores. There's lots of stuff that you can get. You can get retort pouches of beans, chili, different stuff, rice, ramen bowls. They're not expensive. Figure out how many people you got to take care of. Do the math, multiply it out. You know, you can say, well, I got a year's worth of food. And then 3 more people show up, 3 of your family members show up. Well, that year's worth of food is now, 3 months worth of food. Because instead of having for 1 person, you got for 4. Divide by 4. It shortens how long it will last. You got to think about stuff like that. Muy importante. Muy importante. So, I will be back tomorrow for another edition of Good Night, Uncle Al. I'll be back tomorrow for hopefully another edition of Coffee Talk. Everybody be safe. When you get up in the morning, thank God for the day. Take your medication. Say your prayers. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be safe. be respectful, and be responsible. Everybody have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll get together tomorrow. Night, night. Thank you.